right, hey, so we're going to be doing intermediate, so preps for aerial invert, but this is going to be a conditioning video. So conditioning for really everything, but primarily focusing on doing your invert from the air. All right, so what we're going to do to start, just working on holding with your bicep, and then we'll start to get into some inverted stuff as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is climb to bicep hold. So let's make sure that you're nice and warm. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Good. Reach all the way up and take it over. One side. Reach back up. And exhale over. Good. Hands at your chest. Walk it down. Pull back. Bend your knees. Roll up. All right. So if you need to do any more of a warm-up, you can watch one of the warm-up videos. So we're going to get into this conditioning now. So let's start with climb to a bicep hold. So you're going to come up, climb, take it into the bicep, squeeze hold, maybe tuck the knees, and then bicycle legs down. Okay, so just working towards just the actual transition of putting your climb into a bicep hold nice and smooth. Okay, so when you're coming up into it, think turn, push off the back leg, move your hips, find your bicep, tuck and squeeze. Okay, so a few more like that. So what I like to think of it as, whatever leg is in the back, that should be the bicep that you're going into. So I'm going to come into right leg in the back, hook into my right bicep. Right, turn, push, and hook. Okay, just slightly pushing off of the pull. You don't need to do that. It can be opposite if you like, so it's okay. But just think of it like you're trying to create the most energy moving off of the pole in order to twist your body, right? A quarter turn. Come up, left, push, squeeze, down. Okay, so now I'm starting to add just a little bit more oomph with your tuck, so maybe knees out to the side, and take your gaze, look up, think of tilting your shoulders back. Good, so just like keeping up that energy as you move into the bicep, and then right away tuck. Alright, so it's definitely up to you how many you want to do. My suggestion is put 4 or 5 of these on each side. Okay, so it's about a total of 10. And that could be both your climb to bicep hold and adding a monkey tuck. You know, or vary it up, do a little bit of both. So now we're going to come into a basic invert and do our exercises in chopper. So working on lower abs. So come all the way up, toes to the bar. Think of squeezing your hips in and up. Take that inside elbow out, and then one leg off, other leg off. One leg off, other leg off. Good, and then let's take both, hold chopper, And now think, bend your elbows, drop your hips, put your feet down. Okay, so let's do that one more time. And then we'll go into chopper dismounts. Because chopper dismounts are going to be the foundation, the main thing that it's going to help you with your aerial invert. Because to dismount out of it requires more control than getting up into it. But because you're already in the air, getting up into it now is harder, right? So by training those dismounts, you're really working through that lower ab engagement, the arm positioning that's going to be needed to hold to get you all the way up. So once you get into your chopper, think bend your elbows, pull your chest in, hips come down. Bend, feet come to the floor. Alright, so now do a few from the side, focusing on that chopper dismount. Okay, so your form is, once you're up in chopper, start to pull, doing like a bicep curl with your arms, chest comes in. As that happens, your hips drop. Don't worry about what the legs are physically doing. If they bend, if they come into a tuck, all of that's okay. The hardest one is going to be legs out straight the whole time, all the way down, or legs together straight all the way down.
Always remember the time we spent together.
So pull in, hips come down, feet come to the floor. Okay? I'll show it now coming down from like a tucked position. So out of your chopper, start to bring your knees together into a tuck, and then try and gently place your feet down on the floor. Try and hold that tilt as you come down. You're almost in that tuck that you usually do. Try and hold the bicep and the knees up. So bicep, knees up, and then place them down. So it doesn't have to be like sloth speed, but you know when it's getting slowed down, right? You can tell. So just start to work on taking that pace and just slowing it down. Do each movement. Pull yourself in, knees together, hold, slowly place the feet down. So your goal is to work towards 5 chopper dismounts on each side. One side you're going to get to it, the other side's going to take a little bit of work, right? Just like usual. So 5 chopper dismounts on each side. I always suggest alternating, because then it just starts to like kind of trick your body instead of like doing your good side and then going over to the bad side and being like shit, right? So try and do the alternating. So it starts to feel more natural on both sides. Okay. So I'm not going to fully do all of the reps with you, but working towards that 5 on each side and just keep doing it, right? This is something that you can do either as you're starting your workout, or just, let's say you've done a little bit of a workout, come to the pole, do a few of these, right? And make sure that you're going to get that conditioning in. So now, working on those straight leg inverts. So not from the air yet, just from the floor. But the stronger you get your straight leg invert from the floor, you'll have the strength to do your aerial invert up on the pole. It just might not be fully straight at that time, but you've conditioned your abs so well that you'll be able to do it. So start with doing 5 on each side of half ups. So half up, hold, and lower down. Okay? So bringing the toes about halfway, just above hip height is good, and then lower back down. Okay? 5 on each side. ones that I want to get to. So the next one, and you might only be able to do one of these right now. That's fine, right? You work up to it. So the next one is the opposite. You're gonna start with your legs out center, and then just try and tilt back. Tilt back. So basically half to full, half to full. You don't have to come all the way back into your invert, but that would be what you would do eventually. So legs are gonna come out about hip height, then try and lift and hold, lift and hold, lift and hold. Lift and hold, lift and hold, lift and hold, lift and hold. Okay, so you're not trying to do anything where you're gonna try and get like all this momentum or like force your back to lean back or do anything with your head or neck. It's really just about your lower abs. Okay, this one can be taken down to the floor as well, so I'll go through that. The four ones are going to be good for any time you're doing an ab conditioning workout. Just add these in. Okay, so let's do this on the other side first, and then we'll take it to the floor. So halfway up, lift, 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 maybe lift. Make sure to breathe. Okay, so even just a small amount of those are going to be really, really effective. You keep your bicep nice and tight. Hips lift, right? So you're doing tilt under, engage, right? Under the whole time. So now, these ones you don't even need the pole with. Your arms come down, legs come out into a straddle. Okay, so this is hip height, just like you were on the pole. Push down into your arms, engage through your lower abs, up and down, up and down, up and down. Right, so no momentum, just a little bit of a push with the arms, okay? If you might want to make it harder, bring the arms above your head, and you really can't do anything with that except push your palms, back of your palms into the ground, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's not a hip hop. It's a lot different than that because hip hops use slight momentum. We're talking about roll, like roll through, curl up through your abs. Okay, and if you need to modify it or take it down a notch, start with the knees at 90, do the same thing, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Alright, so we did climb to bicep hold, chopper exercises, straight leg half ups, straddle lifts, okay, and then the exercises on the ground. So those are going to be the main ones, but the last thing I want to talk about is actually not so much your abs or lower body. So yes, we did bicep holds, but let's actually talk about bicep curls, or the use of strengthening your bicep and the muscles around it. So that means your chest, your shoulder, and then bicep. So the best thing that you can do for that is a straight up bicep curl. So if you have weights at home or anything that's about 5 pounds each, go for a total of about 20 reps. Bicep curls, elbows into your sides. Curl straight up and down, maybe even hold and go slower on the way down. Okay, that's kind of what you're doing when you're doing the chopper dismount, chopper or inverts as well. Chopper dismount is your decline, bicep curl on the decline, right? So that's still working your biceps so much, but by adding weight and doing strengthening your curls, making sure your shoulders are back and down, curling up and down. That's going to be a very, very important way to keep your structure and your foundation while you're doing your inverts nice and strong. Okay, so a couple things that you can do on the pole if you don't have weights is your row, pull in and down, okay? The only thing with these, you just want to make sure that you're down far enough and that you squeeze your back at the top. So the more active and you feel the resistance, the squeeze. So I'm squeezing my biceps, squeezing in between my shoulder blades. Slowly lower down. So you can make exercises harder by adjusting your tempo and speed of the repetition. So you come up a little bit faster, slowly lower down. Or you come up and hold, maybe for a count of 3 or 4, and then lower down. Okay? Another thing you can do is your bicep curls with resistance. So a resistance band can be helpful for just straight bicep curls as well. So if you have a pole and you want to just tie it to the pole, do that, or you can use a doorknob like people usually would. So from here, so you can do your decline. So working a little bit more tricep. Okay, so you want to think, pull straight down, squeeze your elbows into your side, squeeze hold, and then slowly come back up, and then down. Slowly up, and down. Make sure that your core is engaged and your spine is nice and straight. And then you do your regular curls up and in. So maybe even take it up higher, squeeze hold at the top, slowly lower down. Right? Because your elbows are about at a 90 degree when you're doing your invert from the shoulder. So you can take it up a little bit higher and then slowly lower down. Squeeze hold, slowly lower down. All right, so those are my absolute favorite exercises to work on your aerial inverts, but I think they're good for generally all over with pull, because pull uses so much bicep and core, right? So all of that is what it's working. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that and continue to work on those exercises. Okay, bye.